I was really looking forward to this film. Its main star, Robert Pattinson, has proven himself to be an extremely talented actor. Director and writer Bong Joon Ho is a multiple Oscar winner for such films as Parasite. And Mickey 17 is produced by Plan B, Brad Pitt's studio. So it seemed like a safe bet. But no, it was not to be. It was not to be because what I forgot is that this film, which was released this week, was delayed by over a year, which means it was meant to come out before the US election. Yeah, Mickey 17, which could have been a real artistic statement on a universal message of trying to find your purpose and place in a world that is becoming more and more uncaring and disconnected, took a sharp left turn about 25 minutes into its runtime to become a political statement against Donald Trump. And there was no subtlety about it, especially when Mark Ruffalo, a person permanently afflicted with Trump Derangement Syndrome, is tapped to play the role that is meant to be our 47th president. Yep. The next 110 minutes was an example of just how much the Hollywood elite hate Donald Trump and just how much he lives rent-free in their minds. And the movie suffered greatly because of this focus on political and social messaging, and abandoning what seemed like one of the most interesting and unique narratives to be greenlit in a long, long time. The movie begins with Mickey on the planet Niflheim, a snow-covered wasteland of a place. He has fallen through the ice and wonders why he isn't dead yet. His friend Tommy, played by Stephen Yeun, abandons him there without any real rescue effort because Mickey's just going to get reprinted tomorrow, and Mickey just seems resigned to his fate like a minor inconvenience, even when a giant alien creature shows up to eat him. After all, this will be the 17th time Mickey has died in the last 4 years. We are then provided with a flashback that lasts about 25 minutes, and this is the most interesting part of the film. Mickey narrates his life from a failed baker who borrowed money from the most ruthless, violent, and unforgiving loan shark on earth to a man on the run for his life as an expendable. An expendable is someone who does not mind taking on work that is dangerous because if you die, you can be remade via a 3D printer, and you have the same personality and memories uploaded into your new brain. Now, this procedure is illegal on Earth, but not in space, where twice failed political candidate Kenneth Marshall, played by Mark Ruffalo, is leading an expedition of his cult-like followers, red hats and all, on a 4-year journey to Niflheim, a new planet to repopulate with a purer race. Remember, I told you. So yes, a twice-failed political candidate, which was Hollywood's wishful thinking at the time of production in 2023. The red hat-wearing supporters of Ruffalo are, of course, all portrayed as stupid and ignorant and easily manipulated. Ruffalo even busts out Trump's signature dance moves when he first appears on screen. What was a film that I was enjoying so much for what it was doing, how it was doing it, the universal and satirical statement it was exploring, what I thought was turning into something really, really special in terms of cinema, absolutely derailed itself because Orange Man bad. It might have been a little bit entertaining if Ruffalo delivered a performance that was somewhat elevated, but he did not. Instead, he delivered a performance that was over-exaggerated and beyond parody, focused more on trying to demean the president instead of creating a character that had some sort of depth or meaning or nuance. It was a cardboard cutout of an acting job, one of the worst I've seen Ruffalo deliver. And as the film went on, I actually began to feel a little sympathy for Mark. Here we have a man who can't help but waste whatever talent he has because he cannot escape the spell of whatever political delusions he's under. But if that was the only thing that went wrong with this film, maybe it would have been okay. But it was not. After a magnificent beginning, the introduction of political commentary was accompanied by a complete shift in pacing and tone, one that slowed the second act down to the point of putting one to sleep. New social messaging was introduced, and throughout the second and third acts, we got commentary on slavery, colonialism, Native American rights, sexuality and government control of one's body, capitalism, religion, and immigration. During this time, we're also introduced to Nasha, Mickey's love interest who sees him through most of his deaths and rebirths. She's a strong black female, so, of course, she becomes the hero of the third act. The one screaming at the camera about all of the injustices of the world, and screaming obscenities and insults at Mark Ruffalo because Orange Man bad. And Ruffalo's character goes from narcissistic megalomaniac in the first and second acts to genocidal dictator in the third, because that is the message the film wants to deliver politically. Put Trump in charge, and everybody will die. Meanwhile, Mickey, who has died and been reborn so many times he's up to number 17, is not eaten by the native creatures on the planet, but rescued by them. However, the rest of the colony does not know this, and they replicate a new Mickey, Mickey number 18. who is a darker version of number 17, and is a little bit of a psychopath. Now the problem for 17 as he makes his way back is that he is now a multiple, a violation, and therefore all versions of Mickey must be destroyed and his memory deleted permanently. While all this is going on, Ruffalo is busy making empty gestures to his people, which turns into a disaster when Mickey 18 tries to assassinate him, the bullet just grazing the side of his head. Yeah, they put that in there. Then the native creatures come into play, what the colony call the Creepers. A baby creeper is murdered by Ruffalo and his police force, and another baby is then tortured and put on a meat hook to dangle above a pit of molten lava. Its tail is chopped off by the First Lady and put into a blender to make a culinary sauce. They then introduce a bisexual female character, and she's supposed to be the second love interest to Mickey 17, and they do this halfway through the second act. But the story never goes anywhere until you see her later at the end of the film with a new girlfriend. Nasha is sometimes portrayed as a pillar of strength. In other scenes, she's a drug-addicted sex fiend with no real moral center. And depending on the moment, Mickey 17 and Mickey 18 are either trying to kill each other or are actively working together to save themselves. Basically, the script just becomes a mess. It introduces new characters halfway through the film without any backstory or context. New subplots are inserted halfway through the film and replace the original ones from Act 1. There's a guy running around in a chicken costume for some unknown reason. It fails to deliver on questions set up in the first act, and by the end of the film there are plot devices and miraculous scientific items added in to either make it easy to wrap up the story or make another political statement, such as a translator that is cobbled together in 5 minutes that allows Mickey to talk to the native creepers, or Nasha, the strong female minority character taking over as president of the colony that has landed on Niflheim to create a utopian society, because she is basically the Kamala Harris of the film. There's Mickey 17 referencing a sexual position he enjoys with Nasha as a means to communicate to rescue the captured baby creeper, and then the ultimate Trump derangement orgasm for Hollywood, Mark Ruffalo's character being blown up by Mickey 18 in a selfless act of sacrifice that was never hinted at in his personality anywhere at any time. And this is followed by the First Lady slicing her wrist the day after while she was locked up as a mental patient and awaiting trial. It truly is revenge fantasy porn for the ultra-liberal left. So, can I say anything about this film that was great? Sure, the visual effects were great, the production value was top-notch, an estimated budget of around $120 million thrown at it, the musical score was spot on, and again, especially in the first act, it set a magnificent tone and emotional anchor for the on-screen product, but most importantly, Robert Pattinson makes the movie at least tolerable. What is asked of him is basically the entire scope and range of acting all in one role, and he does this with the kind of talent that elevates him amongst his peers. After The Lighthouse and The Batman, and now Mickey 17, he's shown his capabilities as an actor that, with a more organized and focused script, could deliver something that is remembered for generations. But alas, Mickey 17 will not be that role, because in the end, it was more important to try and sway an election than deliver an entertaining and polished film. And that's what I think. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video, we'd appreciate it if you hit that like and subscribe button. It really helps out the channel each and every week. I thank you for watching. As always, I'm your reluctant Gringo, and from south of the border, salud and a huevo.